Are you ready for the eclectic one? AKA Pat is here.
AKA Patters, what is happening? Craziness got a major work phone call literally right before I was going to start the 10-minute countdown. So we already got some boys. We already got some AKA Patters in the house. What is up? Total excellence. This is one of the this is already like one of those nights where I kind of wish I would slow down on Mondays, but whatever. Cheers. Now, I would show you guys what I'm drinking, but I literally, this is just leftover White Claw that's been in my fridge pre-vacation. So I just dumped it in here, and you can see it's like, like discolored, but whatever. We're just going to drink it. Total excellence. I love you, buddy. What is happening? As always, AKA Pad. Let's keep rocking and rolling. You guys know what's up. Congratulations on making 300 subs. Yes. Look, it's a journey, and boy, is it competitive. Like no joke. The look, you need subs for growth, and boy, does it breed jealousy though, because they're. I get so jealous and I get so angry at people that have more followers than me. Which at this point on YouTube seems like everybody. No. The Rainbow Punch. This is Alpha Flight. Look. Let me show you. So I did this for my Instagram, right? So let's just get into something real quick. I will show you. I'm bringing it up on the phone. And this is Alpha Flight 106. And Alpha Flight 106 is important because it's, in my opinion, the first revelation of a gay character for Marvel. And here's the cover. I was going to do like a cover creation. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get like a good picture. So here. So this is Alpha Flight 106. North Star, who was created by John Byrne and Chris Claremont during the classic X-Men run. What are we doing here? I'm getting widget updates for Microsoft. Yeah, I wanted to recreate this character, but this is kind of like the first character they retconned as gay. And for my IG stream, I was like, let's do one gay character or LGBTQ plus character. I'll say that. No, even like trans or like whatever. But let's kind of do some of these characters and try and put like a good, fun spin on them. And as you can see, the cover is not much, but it's a awesome cover. Incredible cross hatching by Mark Paciello, which I adore. And and it's to me, it's very odd that this cover or this issue is not like Deadpool money. It really is. I don't know why. It should be Deadpool money. But I have it up just because when I was on my one call like a couple minutes ago, I kind of started noodling with this already, with some of the colors and highlights. So I haven't picked out tomorrow's character yet, but on Instagram, I'll be doing the live streams, and I may start something new and release the live stream on YouTube as well. So be on the lookout for that. But yeah, I'm just kind of look. My intention always is to do ferocity and almost like emotion with my drawings and energy rather than accuracy. Now, if the two kind of meet at a head, I'm all for it. I don't shy away from that. But at the same time, though, I really try and put my mark on the things I touch. So, and I never really saw the character so much like this, and that's a lot of my motivation. So we have that yesterday, and I would say this morning too, taking phone calls. I was finishing up this Father's Day piece. You guys can really see like the time difference between having multiple runs at a piece. Like these two are the same amount of time, but one I was able to stack while doing other things throughout the course of a day. And the other one is me like grinding it out in a 1 hour session. So very different. I would say coloring wise though, this is probably about 30 minutes longer. So this is 1 hour. I would say this is about 90 minutes. Okay. So I've been getting questions about Trial by Fire. So that will be addressed in a upcoming newsletter. But for now, like somewhat the focus is to get this book, Dark Hero, really like just rocking and rolling. Like rocking and rolling on as many different levels as possible. It's great that there's a collaboration with Chris Hicks. I always want to call him Chris like Hemsworth. I don't know why. But we got Chris Hicks. Look him up, Chris Hicks 1138, and he is a collaborator. This is his character, okay? And I kind of like he was kind enough to let me come on to this project and kind of get angry with it, I'll say. Okay? Like, get completely angry with it. And help him, or kind of like, I kind of just took the bull by the horns, and I thought some of his writing updates were too slow. And like this is also just something I do with the 9 to 5. It's a Peter thing, but I just got like it was almost I was just said like fuck it, I'll do it even though I'm not being paid to, just to move the project forward. And like I do that a lot with the 9 to 5 because my objective, and I was actually repeating this to someone today, so this is a little bit of a life lesson. Like if things are being held up, you can do two things, right? You can really complain about it being held up. Okay? Like you can just build your case and have all your arguments and all your examples, and most times like you're right, things are held up, and like you've illustrated why. But at the end of the day, you really haven't helped the project move forward. And that is perpetually, forever, my intention is to get that project moving forward. So with Dark Hero, it was just one of those things where you might have been watching Dune, the David Lynch one. You got to specify which Dune you're watching, because the Sci-Fi Channel had two really good miniseries, in my opinion, with Dune. Like Sci-Fi Channel budget, Dune always needs a big big money, but at the same time, those Sci-Fi Channel shows are as good as like anything. So, like writing wise, okay. Just kind of like solutions for the masses when it comes to Dune, because Dune is incredibly difficult just to even discuss. Like talking to a fellow like nerd about Dune, I mean, unless they know the books and read the books, it's tough. It's a tough thing to talk about. So I think I was just like watching some David Lynch Dune, and I really have a trigger with just sitting down. So I grabbed my layout paper and really just had this like epiphany moment of like what I at the time what I was calling the hook of the series, because I just felt like the as Dark Hero was standing, like Dark Hero still needed a hook, because the positioning for Chris's like work and script, I'll say, like the almost like the premise, and I thought he had good guts. So it's like you got good guts, but you're set up for the whole saga, or like the point you're maybe trying to make, like question mark with the story. It's like it needs work, but it needs a lot of work. And then it's like a little bit of that frustration. Like how did it get to this stage? Because someone else, he commissioned for like the first part, and they were pretty much done. So at that stage, when I kind of saw his, like, I agreed to do the work and I saw the work, which is something you should never do. But whatever, like, life is full of surprises. So I had a heart to heart with him, and he's, like somewhat receptive, which again, I give him a ton of credit for. And I can't say I was totally nice about it. I was very frustrated. And I was watching Dune, and like we kind of weren't getting momentum or movement, I'll say. Not even momentum, just movement on what I was calling the hook. And the idea that kind of like stuck out in my head was, like, can we go back to like the actual like origins of the Dune universe? Like, I'm not talking about the Brian Haberlin ones, right? Like, I'm not talking about the work of the Son, but I'm just talking about like the overall idea of like, where does the Dune universe come from? Like, what, like exactly what happens with humanity when they stretch through the stars? And I kind of was thinking so much about the Emperor from Warhammer 40K. I was like, they're so similar, but like, what if there was like something else that helped like humanity stretch across the stars? Like, what if there was just this other creature being? And then, like, what if he was a little bit like Superman? So, like, that's kind of like why he's Dark Hero. He's Dark Hero because he's lost. He's literally lost. There's no equal. There's nothing for him on planet Earth. There's just nothing for this guy. And he's tried everything. Children, love, like all the archetypes are there. And Chris called him Alpha Man, which I fucking hated. Like, really. I mean, it just comes off as so lazy and unimaginative. Like, why would I ever read that book? So, but at the same time, Alpha Man, like the name itself, there's like it's naive, right? It's naive. So I don't know. Like, so there was just so much with that kind of drew me, like really sucked me into what we were doing. Okay. So I did no, I had tracing paper, and I think I scribbled like 8 or 9 pages, and then we kind of like continued our dialogue. Like, kept talking, like keeping the project fresh. I was doing some spot work here and there. We're really talking like strategy. We're trying to like I'm kind of like informing him of some of my mistakes with TBF. He's doing a lot of his own. Like Chris is great with talking to people, and I would say like press. He seems really good with press. So, like Chris for this project, all right, that's almost what I mean by collaborator. Like he's coming into the gate, so to speak. He's coming in and he's helping marketing, but he's also creating marketing. And we're doing signups now. And like our signups are looking really good. And we're like him and I, like we're DMing people. We're trying to get people interested on a one-to-one basis. So that level of collaboration, I mean, like, what else do you need to make something shoot through the stratosphere when it comes to crowdfunding? Outside of that, like, you get good artwork, like a story that you believe in. And then, like, along the way, you kind of just force yourself. You literally force yourself to put your mind, like, so far out of the box that you do have something. Like in the competitive subfield of Dark Hero is superhero deconstruction. Okay? Jupiter's Legacy, Astro City, The Authority, all those confusing spin-offs of The Authority, the Monarchy. You guys remember the Monarchy? Oh, yeah. Invincible. So, like, it goes on. The Boys, from the same company that brought you the Monarchy. Wildstorm. So you have this subgenre that people, I would say, like, the typical reader frowns upon deconstruction. They don't like it because it puts you in competition, technically, with the Watchmen. And it is impossible to say anything is as good as or better than Watchmen. And I will say, I mean, if you don't look at Watchmen that way, if you don't look at Watchmen in this way, it's tough. I mean, it's tough to kind of have a conversation about what real comic books are. I mean, the three books that are the gospel, it's Watchmen, Mouse, and Akira. Like, that's your three-headed dragon. Hey, thanks, dude. Appreciate it. Like, yeah, I mean, the roughs were so much a part of the process. And yeah, we're going all out, dude. All go, no quit. The reason why I think I may have mentioned this. So let's get into some of my psychology on these pages. A lot of these pages are panelist montages, okay? To some degree, okay? And I wanted images to be featured on the campaign page, period. So, like, I just wanted, like, almost like a series of covers. Like a series of advertisements. because I think when people see Dark Hero and they kind of see, like a Man of Steel type character, I think they kind of get a little bit turned off. Like keep in mind, a majority of the comic book readership is been there, done that. And already at this point, they've seen a lot of superhero deconstruction. But that is what Watchmen, it didn't create. A lot of the independents of the 90s were way ahead of the Watchmen when it comes to superhero deconstruction, because the Bronze Age is when it comes to comic history, the Bronze Age is really your like 0.0 in like proper superhero storytelling. Proper. And the 80s came along, and the 80s basically built a process out of that. Like they formalized it. And it didn't last throughout the 80s because, again, with all formulas, like things get predictable. So that's where the superhero deconstruction came from in the 80s, that Watchmen birthed, that the Dark Knight kind of birthed. And I really don't feel like, I don't tend to view Dark Knight Returns as superhero deconstruction. Like in the sense that it's not Dark Knight Returns is Dark Knight. It's Bruce Wayne. It's Batman. It's the Batman universe at the time. It's deconstruction of that. Okay, it's more of an attack on Superman or Batman, and you can kind of even say, wow, yeah, like Superman, and even DCU at the time. It's a comment on that. So there you go. And this piece, everything regarding Dark Hero is it's almost like a comment on the people making the comments. I mean, it's meta just in its inception. But we're using all the known history. Cause fucking DC's not doing it. Right? I mean, people are going to watch that Flash movie, and we're going to get a Superman movie. We're going to get a Superman movie that doesn't star Clark Kent. Right? Like, that's where we're going. So we can be ahead of that. We can be ahead of that curve. So I say, yeah, like let's get out in front. Let's get out in front of this. So the other page that I don't know. Like we'll see. Every Monday, I kind of say I want to like sit down with all of you and just really do like a 2 hour, 3 hour, like 4 hour session. But things come up, and this is like one of the like first Mondays in a while too. I'm not like between things. If that makes any sense. Like, it's raining like hell right now in Philly, so there was no workout before coming live. Right. So right now we're going to shoot for 7. Dude, we're still in that same scenario. Total excellence. I mean, like following some of these layouts, like this. Right. I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of away from coloring this, to be perfectly honest, because I gotta jump back on TBF and complete chapter 2, which I'm really I'm really right there getting back onto a TBF. But wanted like 7 pages and a couple trading cards drawn for this. One cover, and then kind of let Chris handle the rest of the campaign. Okay, so we're kind of going to be raising campaign funding off of the spec of those 7 pages, and I think overall, like the overall page count. Yeah, I mean, it's dude. Like, look, everything I do is fucking like Kirby, like it really is. And I guess like that's the other thing I'm missing from modern comics, right? Is there any Kirby left in modern comics? And that's where, like, that's where a lot of stuff, I think, starts to like fall apart when it comes to like how, like, as a creator, okay, like how do you view what you're doing? And a lot of creators cannot, like they cannot meet that. They can't meet that question and consider what that standard is, because it means that they're abandoning like a history, like like that they may not agree with. And it's hard because you do have to honor comic book history because it did build the industry, and it's just so freaking good. And this page here too, like a little bit of background. This is the we're calling it Judgment Day, the quote unquote Judgment Day page. And we can all guess what that is referencing. But I kind of, today I was walking into the office and I kind of was like, just, because I have to think about something a million fucking times. But I was thinking, should we call the spiked beast that slays Alpha Man, like, should we call him Judgment Day or Doom Spike? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, right. Like, but you know what? Like, I'll say this though. Like the Kirby, like I call that strict paneling. Like the the 2 across, 3 down, or like big grid. I got like a couple different names for it, but if it's like big grid paneling when it comes to Kirby, a lot of, like, people are using that grid, but he actually had, like, there was a methodology within that grid to begin the fight, end the fight, establishing shot, dialogue, revelation. I don't know. Like a lot of that just seems going too, but yeah, it sucks because when I was really like learning about this stuff, okay, it was there was almost like this Kirby revival, and it was exciting. It was exciting to learn about Kirby and then go get some of his reprints because and I've always been like a reprintologist. One of my close friends, we do a lot of discussion on like paper quality and reprint quality of so many of the Kirby editions because things change, and sometimes they'll discover like new sketches and have new like special features type thing, or they'll have like a new way to organize some of the work in some of the Kirby trades, which again too, like that's fucking always nice, like get to get all these like romance or his war comics like all together. And but it's like but you may want the page quality from something previous. And to me, like that's what I consider that's real collecting, because you're part curator. You're almost like a little bit of a historian. So here we go. Right. We're getting into form here. So look, let me show you. Like here's what's on deck too for Edwin, what's up, bud? Edwin, I saw your one post or your one Twitter update about the movie stuff, like the movie watch. I think I remembered you doing that, but then I forgot. But like you're on my list, dude. So this guy here, they do these really cool movie videos. Go to the YouTube, subscribe, check it out. Edwin, feel free to put your link like in the comments because we get some aftermarket activity here with these streams. But do it. But Edwin, dude, like I love it, dude. Yeah, look, the AKA Pad Army is in the mix. I love you guys so much. Thank you. But yeah, so here's a quick of what's on deck. So this is what I'm calling like the quote unquote like death of page. Okay, this is our Galactic Origins page. Okay, and I'm doing like a very packed grid here. Look at that fucking grid. Okay, but this is where we're like blending like all of human history and like almost like different incarnations and like not one soul, but maybe one giant soul broken up into like thousands of births and lives, and they eventually like coagulate, like they reform into like what we have here. And then this is what I call growing up page. We might want to call this the Smallville page. So this is what I mean about deconstruction. And we do have a good hook. And I would not be doing this if we didn't have a good hook. Okay? Like, clearly, I wouldn't be doing this if we didn't have a good... Yeah, thanks, dude. Yeah, dude, like partially influenced by Tom Scioli. Honest to God, his grids for GoBots and his grids for G.I. Joe Transformers, enlightening. Like they, they lit my mind on fire when I first read those. So, I've been kind of digging for an opportunity to, rip off some Sicoli. But yeah, so there's a lot with this book that, from my perspective, is impossible and straight up challenging. Like, honest to God, and look, everyone, keep in mind, like, early adopters and early supporters of Trial by Fire, all 100 people that signed up for Trial by Fire will have like something special available that's Dark Hero. Okay. Anyone that purchased Uzi, Susie, or Trial by Fire, or both, will get something Dark Hero. Okay. This is the way I'm like getting my content and my customers and my supporters, like, and like I'm gelling them together. Some of these things work slower than others. So, like I'm in constant apology mode when it comes to any of that. And rightfully so. Like, I should be. But yeah, and like, honestly speaking, like, this is a good page for me to ink live because it's dynamic. There's just a lot happening. But the Galactic Origin page, oof. Like, like, who wants to watch me ink that? There we go. No, thank you, Total Excellence, because we all make this happen, dude. But yeah, and look, here's the other thing. There's like maybe like other things also happening with other little books that I've been like haranguing people on. And those books are also opportunities to gel things together. Because I really feel like part of where my like mind is going, like some of my like methodology or thinking, is a little bit of a coalition, we'll call it, of sorts, for people who have already printed books that may be interested in like selling overprints to me, and then I can offer those books through other campaigns that that I'm either a part of or I have the the ears of, we'll say, and to really kind of build a little bit of a one-to-one distribution network. Now, something like that too, like just logistically, it would be a little bit more customer friendly, a little bit more focused on almost like really just like catering to the customer. So you're not going to be able to maintain a lot of people because you really are kind of like you have more of a boutique than you do of a big shop. But I really do think that's independent comics today. I think independent comics are a amazing boutique market. So like let's put some of those products together on the same shelf. Yeah, and always, like, I just feel like too, I got updates so many people on digital coloring which really seems to be speeding up for me. Like I get quicker by the day when it comes to digital coloring. But I I got so much in front of me now. It's such a fucking joke. And I do chip away at it though. Like during the especially during the business day when I'm at the office, very helpful. Like using that time to like set up flats or getting files together, getting files ready. But here we go. Like like we kind this is also to a little bit of a technique when it comes to the storytelling, because we are using a certain MOS, we'll talking code as a reference point. Like I get to kind of almost be like, hey, like they've always should have described the death like this or shown this or made this point. So a little bit when you do superhero deconstruction, that's what you target, and it does make it freaking cool. And superhero, the genre of superhero deconstruction is, like it's not special. It's not a sacred cow. I think at this point, like all bets are off. Especially after something like Jupiter's Legacy gets a freaking Netflix show. I mean, after that, it really is. There's like no more sacred cows when it comes to how we portray certain archetypes. And that really sucks too, because Jupiter's Legacy got robbed of its biggest hook of within that story, which is the murder of the Olympian by his son. So here we go. So I'm leaving some of these open for blacks. And this is the type of look wise, like this is the work I fantasized about when I was younger. Like literally fantasized about being able to do something that was near this level. And I'm very grateful right now that I've been able to kind of keep my self in the game until I hit a skill level. And really like this is the strength of social media, because social media adds so much energy into a lot of things I'm still trying to figure out. So anyone that's involved with me on social media, you are building an artist with me. Like you're building me. And fuck, man, like I'm eternally grateful for that. Yeah, and then we didn't do any of the intro stuff because I am recalibrating some of it, and we got other things for that coming. And I gotta get better with building template sets within StreamYard, so I can just hit a template set and kind of have it like things just like zap in. We'll say that because that's what they do. They just zap in like banners and so forth. Anyone out there with theme building tips, I'm all ears. So a little bit of what slowed me down is going back and forth between wet ink and dry ink. So hate that. Come on, what are we doing here? Yeah, dude. Hey, we push each other because like competition's good. Like getting pissed off what other people are doing that you're not doing, it's a good fucking thing. I'm always I'm just pissed at everyone. Like I hate people doing shit. And I'm always pissing myself because I'm like never fucking happy, never satisfied. And in my view, it's like for good reason. Like what do I have to be satisfied about? But no, dude, like we push each other. I want the fucking Gators to happen like so bad that like I find myself picking up my fucking phone sometimes, and I like I stop myself from like texting you because I kind of might be in like work mode and shit, and I kind of want to be like, what the fuck is happening like with this? Like, let's just like we can do this right now, and it'll move things forward. Yeah, dude. Like, I'm in perpetual competition. But no, I mean, I think if you don't think like if you're not always like looking for ways to be more productive, ways to slim down your time on doing something. Now, I don't believe in the phrase work smarter, like whatever that phrase is. It's like don't work harder, work smarter. Like that's bullshit fucking advice. It's the worst advice. You have to work smarter and harder. You got to do both. And that's my state. Like that's like if you were to slice me up and like something would to like spill out, it would be that. Like get some of that hair to have those like wild ends. Yeah, keep in mind too, like there'll be like some whiteout that will, like break up these lines and kind of give it a little bit more character. But that's the, like again, part of like the comic book legacy, we'll say, the legacy that we all share is things are built on top of one another. So, I believe this adds to like a mythology as much as like anything. Yeah, I think like it's almost like how Watchmen added to like a mythology of vigilantes more than anything. Like everyone goes on like Dr. Manhattan, but Watchmen really is about the vigilantes. It's not really about Dr. M. And I always felt like that was a really weak, like low hanging fruit, lazy take when people would just act like it's a story about Dr. Manhattan. Yeah, it's really about Ro. Like living the dream that others gave up. That's really what that story is about. Oh, AL. Hey, people. Oh, god damn it. It's underscore. People, we got Chris underscore Hicks in the freaking house. Yeah, we got it right here. Thank you, dude. Thank you. Yes. We try and do sick work here all day, all night. Welcome to my drawing table. Dude, sorry everyone. I was just almost like zoning out there. Yeah, so here we go. Right there, total excellence. Chris Hicks is in the house. 1138. AKA Pad 69 and Chris Hicks 1138. It is happening. Yeah, so traditional, like, so normally I would almost like everything here, like, like it's in my head, right? It's in my head. Like I can already visualize this. Like to me, it's done. Okay. So it would be like the next step would be to like figure out like the penciling for we'll just call them Judgment Day here. Thanks, dude. Yeah. We got Judgment Day here. So, but part of like what's also happening is like this was a effect. I was always annoyed I never saw. Okay, and I always wanted like a tethered cape to like be like a panel break. So like that's what this is. So a lot of these pages, again, I said it before, they're designed to be single showcases. They're designed to be part cover, part montage, but they do have natural like panel breaks. So this instinctively would be it's still a 3-panel page. Okay, so like even though like a lot of the artwork is looking very 90s, like it doesn't mean the like the positioning for the storytelling needs to echo that. Like the positioning for the storytelling can actually be Bronze Age, and like Bronze Age is the absolute, like that is the era in comics, because everything did start to fall apart in the 80s. That's the decade too where a lot of corporate interests like walked into comics, but like Viacom, Marvel, Warner Brothers, DC. Okay, so the industry itself developed formulas for their work as any industry would to kind of appease, like the new people running these companies, which were finance guys, money people, and every industry goes through that type of consolidation. So, like you can be upset that it happened, but it was going to happen regardless. Consolidation happens in every single industry, so you have to kind of get off of that as a criticism. But no, and so the 80s lead into the 90s, and the 90s were like this personified era of nailing what the market wanted. Like within the 90s, it was very clear what the market wanted. So, but people knocked the 90s because they did it. They were too good at it. They did it too well. And then, like the industry, like moving into the 2000s, I guess like we can kind of say collectively now is considered a writer's industry. Like the age of the artist led to the age of the writer, and now we're, like we're kind of like at the age of activism or correction, or like it's hard to really define where things are right now. But I would say collectively, like there's no unified base for the fandom anymore. I think things are more segmented. I think that's a reflection of sales being down. I don't think it could have been prevented. I don't think it's like fixable. I think that this is something that will have to get like weeded out through time. Like all this stuff and everything I just said there. Not popular. You don't hear it a lot. So, whatever. Like, you get a lot of these commentators too, these YouTubers that I think, in my opinion, they're more divisive than anything. Even though some of them have like real legit points, and I do think there is a correct side and a wrong side. I really do. But that's almost like not entirely my concern. My concern is to make a good comic the way how I know how to make a good comic. Like I guess like organic paneling or fucking lazy or lazy paneling. But again, this is with a intent, and the intent is to have the level of paneling to show off the story, because like all of this is still like a setup to what is to come. And I think like that's really what I think is the exciting part. Hey, dude, intent runs in everything. It's intent first. I think as an artist, as a creator, I talk about this a lot on my podcast. The intent comes first. Everything comes second. And I think a lot of creators, they kind of don't know about that. Like they just ignore that piece of the process. Like there's nothing wrong with kind of sitting down and saying like this is what we're doing. This is what it stands for. Like all of it, to kind of like just throw it down and say like this, and I call those things like foundations or frames or baselines. Like it's relatively all the same type of speech that has the exact same definition. But I kind of like I'm into calling this guy Judgment Day, but I kind of like calling him Doom Spike. because even in the Batman vs Superman movie, like like it's one spike, one like doomsday spike that kills the Henry Cavill like Superman. And I don't know why. I just think it's hilarious to like nod to that, because who the fuck would? But yeah, so this and that, like I debated on. So like here, like so just so we see like some editing in like real time. So we have what I call the Smallville page. Okay, so let me see if I can find the fucking layout for this stupid page. Let's see. Hold up here. Layout, everyone. Layouts. Where are we at? Right here. Boom. Okay. So the original Smallville page, yellow, blue, basic color theory. Like we're done with that. Moving on. Farm. Clark is playing football. We have a job at the Daily Bugle. Lois Lane, nice little Daily Bugle in the Skyline computer desk. The contrast here is decent. I really like, but then, like working on the actual page, it's like, like again, it's like you can do two things, okay? Like always keep this in mind. Just always think about this. You can do two things. You can complete the assignment and be a jerk off, or you can look at the assignment and like with respect of where you are within the assignment or within the project, we'll say, you make it better. So even with this page, right, like I would have been fine getting a better pose here, getting better perspective for the barn, better, right, like this is a layout, make it better. So, but when I got the football dude jumping here, I kind of got the idea to do like this torn flag, okay, but it's a school flag of their so I kind of did like as I was penciling this, I did research, and I'm like, like this is what the school team's going to be. This is why, like all of these things, okay. And I kind of created like a team and the whole background for like the mascot just for this. And now, like to me, this page is so much better because it just it has something a little bit more real to it. So now, what also opens up another opportunity. So we're shooting to 6 to 8 pages as legit preview pages for like the campaign. So this, like, we can kind of develop a Metropolis Clark Kent page. We'll just call it that, okay? Like, like kind of cool, because then I get to kind of work in something similar for this. But I kind of also liked the notes being echoed of the torn flag here with the school mascot and what's happening here with the cape and stuff, okay? Because I do think the torn cape is becoming a little bit of a moniker. It's becoming a little bit of a iconography for what the story is. So, and people did seem to respond to the torn cape version of this versus the non-torn cape version. Like and we can thank the AKA Pad Army for that. Thank you guys, love you. So that's a little bit of the thought process, and this is why we don't really abandon ideas. Like we do challenge ourselves throughout the entire process. Because people will, one of my absolute favorite things that people tell you, or even tell me, I love it when they fucking tell me something's cool when it looks good. Because guess what? Like it's like, guess what, asshole? It doesn't, because I judge what looks cool. Thanks, dude. So, and then the coloring for Judgment Day here. I just gotta call him Judgment Day more to really get used to it. Is I want him to be black and red. So just so he's like a like more menacing, and it is a nod. The black and red for this is even a nod to the original Doomsday, which I'll like I'll reveal that at another time. So this is a little bit of like drawing is redrawing. Like you erase, you correct continuously as you go along to really whittle down the overlapping forms and what that line work is doing or not doing, we'll say. And sometimes, like, so to me, this is like a drawing in the distance. And by that, I mean, it doesn't have to be completely detailed because it's not big enough to be detailed. I haven't figured out his like head yet. Like, I don't know what Judgment Day's head fucking looks like. Yeah, and then like like let's just kind of talk spoilers and even fantasize a little bit. Like I talked about, like the hook of the story is like just answer, like almost like answering the question, like like how does like a being, like like how does like the Man of Steel, like how would he really lose his like grasp on things or like his like humanity after having it, and then kind of like looking at the whole universe in a completely original like fashion, like like I'll say it, like the way how this guy sees things and the reason why he sees the world a particular way, you've never seen it before. Like like once you kind of get there as a creator, like how do you not get excited to work on something like that all the fucking time as much as possible? So that's where we are with this. But this is all set up to kind of answer these other questions that like I just haven't seen. And I think Chris is the right guy because like Chris is going through things in life now that like I've never experienced. Okay, so Chris isn't just a collaborator, like he's a fucking person. So when you're collaborating with someone, like why would you want that, like why would you not want some of like who they are to come through into the piece? And I really do feel like a lot of like indie creators, because like like a lot of these people are kind of working in comics, they're in my opinion, like a lot of these indie guys out there, in my opinion, like they're the real grifters. They're just like flat out fucking fake. Like, I know who they are. Like, I got fucking lists. Yeah, and they're just like low confident individuals that really like clog up the fucking pipes. Like the pipes of crowdfunding, the pipes of social media. Like kind of they get in the way. That's a good way of phrasing it. They're just people that get in the way and then blame like everything else in their life to why something fails. It's just like, Jesus, like, like there's so much work that goes into excuses. And some of these people, like, like I've been communicating with them and like to like also to be like perfectly honest too, to kind of help them usher their projects along, just so like I could maybe I want to say get a piece of it, because I like I really don't think there's real money but like credit, like like a cover or a pinup, like something. It's like like I'm a little bit, I'm probably at this point in my life more of a credit whore than I am like when it comes to like I'm gonna get rich off of this. Because I really feel like the path you're on when you are more into being known for something is way more like like that's a little bit more like truthful. It's a little bit more honest. I'm throwing this foot back a little bit, by the way, for anyone like keeping track. I'm throwing it back just because I'm not sure what his feet look like. But we can kind of like do a little bit of a hint that he has like a triple like claw foot. But yeah, and well, a lot of it too is I do see people like almost like hurting, like struggling, Yeah, and sometimes you have to pay, like too. Like sometimes you have to pay to get shit done. Like you do, and people who I think when it comes to we'll call them like project like curators at this point, or starters. We're doing a destroyed building back here, by the way, people. Okay, so like again, like complex, like psychology a little bit here is people will try and exchange credit for you working with them, but they cannot guarantee sales, they cannot guarantee promotions, and they have zero social media following. So it's different when someone has a social media following, okay? Because there is value in that. And then there's like somewhat exposing a little bit of the lie that working for credit is bad. Like like you should always be willing. I mean, like there's there's movies that were kind of signed off on, like off of spec, off of zero script. Major actors that worked for like Scale later in their career to get their career back online, right? So there is a myth of working for credit isn't good. But I think what needs to be like added to that is that, like you kind of have to be intelligent. I'm not saying smart, I'm saying intelligent for a reason, because those two words mean different things. You have to be intelligent on those choices. You do. And some of it too is like your momentum. Like, what are you doing on social media? How often are you doing things? Social media is a continuous learning. Like, it's a course. Like there's been nothing like social media in human history. So if you think you got it figured out and like this and that, you probably don't. And you should always be kind of learning and trying to really figure out what's what, like what's where, like how to connect, how to bring it to the next level. What do we got here? Let's take a break. Let's see what total excellence. I've really enjoyed collaborating with Scott. He really likes me to take kind of flock on point. Was Golden Age with a mix of minors. Yeah. Where did the flock end up? Right, like we're done with that campaign. Is he doing 1 through 6 or issues 1 through 3? It's hard for me to keep track of that. And by the way, I think single issues in crowdfunding is fucking dead. I just gotta say it, everyone. I have to say it. Focus on big volumes. Big volumes. Oh yeah, good reference, Total Excellence, right? But wait, Tommy. Look, we gotta touch on this, okay? Tommy Wiseau over here, right? He is a credit hog, but he is now legendary, so it kind of worked, right? Good reference. But here we go. We got our fucking monster here. Doom Spike, Judgment Day, whatever the fuck we're calling this guy. You know what? Do we should we just make it like two guys? Like two guys kill Alpha Man? Like, like we get Doom Spike and then we get Judgment Day. I don't know. But I do like the idea that he has like the center, like unicorn dagger coming like right out of like the middle of his fucking head. I always hated the design for Doomsday that had the like the bones like through the eye. Like, the fuck is that? Get that out of here. Doomsday, big block motherfucking head here. But I do like Judgment Day. Crest, dude, we need an origin for this guy. I know you did a little bit of a dump, right? Content dump. But I need I almost feel like we need to really think about that, because like Doomsday's a lot like Bane. Okay, like Doomsday, like for the guys that killed 90s DC icons, right? We have where's my? Let me see if I can grab a book. Let me see if I can find it, because my production room here is literally becoming a like a super library. And I am not. Here we go. All right. So here we go, people. Let's see. Let's see if we can collaborate within the comments to really figure something out. Okay. Let's see if we can figure something out. We got two things here. All right. We all know who this guy is, right? Rob Liefeld. And we all know about this movie. So, honestly speaking, when we get into like Green Lantern, the Ryan Reynolds movie, hold up, Flock update. Cool, dude. Check out the Flock, people. You know, like that dude Scott he's grinding, he's pushing it. So, like, what are we doing, right? We got some of these things that all make sense. They're all connected. I'm trying to find one more. Here it is. And this. Okay? How are these three things connected? Well, for Onslaught, we do have this idea, okay, of an all-powerful supervillain. Okay? Onslaught in the Marvel Universe carried on. I think Onslaught's presence in like the comic book culture was solidified with Robert Kirkman's run of Ultimate X-Men and his take on, like, you know, like he kind of furthered that, which kept Onslaught in its in the imagination. Okay, so, but we have this you know, again, all-knowing, all-powerful, like super monster. He carries on. Okay, we have Bane, right, from the Dark Knight. He breaks the bat. He carries on. And then we have Doomsday here. Okay? Like, Doomsday carries on. And there's a lot of really legitimate reasons for that. Okay? But then we have this. The guy that killed the Marvel Universe carries on. The guy that killed Superman carries on. The guy that broke the Bat's back carries on. And then we have Green Lantern. And with all intent and purpose, Green Lantern nails all the beats, everyone. Green Lantern as a movie sets everything up pretty well. Okay? I mean, we have a good origin. We have all the mythology. We have all the space shit. We have all the dumb Earth junk. But the movie doesn't connect. And it doesn't connect for probably tangible reasons. Okay? Like, maybe we spend too much time on Earth. Maybe the drama on Earth doesn't really connect. Maybe we should have spent all of our time on Oa. And every time I see the movie, I do believe that. The movie has nothing to do with the costume and things being digital, okay? And I'm trying to find my point here. I'm not having, like, any luck. But the Green Lantern movie, okay, we really do have to be honest. The movie delivers and it hits. It just didn't really, like, what I would call, like, turn the key. You know what's nuts? Is Parallax not in here because they didn't want to spoil the fucking movie? Like, where's... Here we go. Oh, my God. Finally, people, Parallax. And this is what happens. Parallax conceivably does more damage than Doomsday. He does more damage than Bane. It's hard to argue that Parallax does more damage than Onslaught, but it's fucking close. And then Parallax carries on, becomes an entity, possesses, like, we're talking comic books here, possesses Hal. But then, like, the idea of, like, the orange or the yellow lantern becoming fear, and then, like, fear almost like being a embodiment, okay, a physical form, like, permanently transforms the Green Lantern mythology. Like, it's a legit pivot. And the movie does this. Like, the movie shows us all the rules for Parallax, gives us definitions for it, okay, sets things up, gives us payoffs, but it doesn't hit. So when it comes to kind of like developing villains and developing what drama is and the villain and the hero, okay, like having their moment and somewhat like really believing that this guy can die, it's tough. And it's tough for things to carry on. Like, even when Parallax completely wipes out the core, possesses Hal Jordan, and then, like, turns him into a villain, he doesn't really carry on. Parallax is not really considered, or a interpretation of Parallax is not really considered standard. So the point I'm getting at is, even here, okay, so when I'm sitting down and I'm trying to think about ways, like what can kill a super being, an alien super being, like essentially stuck on Earth, okay? What can kill him? And what's, like, and what are those things? Like, what's going to carry on? And I'm not trying to make things like immortal, okay? I'm just trying to make them entertaining. And that's my position. I'm not trying to make something immortal here. But Parallax didn't carry over for a fucking reason. Onslaught carried on. Onslaught's like still there. Like, they just even did like a Build-A-Figure of him. Like, like Doomsday never really went away because they're entertaining. So when you really dissect, like if you go into like a study and you're like, oh, I'm going to kind of like learn about this, like I'm going to read zombie comics to learn how to make a good zombie comic because I want to make a zombie comic. You have to separate yourself. You can't just sit down and be like, all right, this is good, this is bad, and kind of be like bitter and be like, like a fake bullshit critic about it. You have to kind of say, oh, like, this is the stuff that was entertaining. This is the stuff that people seem to like. Like, I kind of see it. I kind of see why this took off and this didn't. And that's your goal as a storyteller. And if you're not doing that, okay, like, you're robbing your own time. You're stealing your own time from yourself. Because storytelling has nothing to do with your taste. It has everything to do with ideas that resonate, ideas that carry over. And you're just robbing yourself thinking you can analyze why Parallax carried over versus Doomsday becoming a DC staple. You just have to accept it. Accept it and move on. Like, we just did the those X-Men. Where's those fucking X-Men cards? Like, look at this. Let's see if we can find like a couple of them. Okay. Shiva didn't carry on. Omega Red carried over. Okay. Juggernaut, always there. Okay. Look, 3 piles. Faded away. the staple, right? Lineage villains and guys that kind of are in the middle. Okay. Toad's in the middle. I don't care what people say. Upstarts faded away. Saturnine faded away. Hellfire Club. Maybe in the no. Fuck Hellfire Club. But here we go. Mask faded away. Okay. Are you guys seeing a pattern? Mutant Liberation Front faded away. Blob's in the middle. Mojo 2 faded away. I mean, it's insane. Caliban faded away. Mystique now has become a staple thanks to the movies. Sinister, staple. Werewolves, gone. Seer, well, she's not really a villain. But you guys see this? Like, we're going through an entire stack. Strife, breaking my heart, faded away. I really would like to say Strife is in the middle. Gideon, faded away. Black Tom, faded away. We're just doing a staple here. I mean, look, Apocalypse. So here's the funny thing, okay? Here's the quick study. The quick fucking study. Why do we have Omega Red never, like, we have to be really honest with Omega Red. Never really cool. Fuck it. You know what? He faded away. Because the speculator market was trying to make money off of Omega Red, off of that Winter Soldier TV show. Okay? The guys in the middle, Toad and the Blob. Toad from the movies, you know, and the Blob is just like visually, he's always going to be there. But then we have this like gorgeous stack here. You know, Magneto goes into the stack. Deadpool now goes into this stack. But we kind of have characters that resonated from early. Like, everyone in the middle was popular, like, on day one. Hellfire Club, you can say, was popular on day one. Sure. But then everyone here, okay? So they have a purpose. Okay? All of these villains just have a purpose to make the X-Men look cool. And that's it. Like, Omega Red's there to make Wolverine look cool. But every once in a while, you get these villains right here that the heroes make to look cool. And that's what resonates. It has nothing to do with who the heroes are beating up. It's the fucking cool as shit designs, powers, looks, feels, intangibles, tangibles, whatever, however you want to like look at it. But watching these guys go through the heroes and do what they have to do what they must do what no one else can do, is the essence of like bold, accurate storytelling. Okay, the villains have to be at a insanely high level, and I hate to say it, don't see too much of that. I mean, that's one of the things I really always liked about the Michael Bay Transformer movies. I always felt like they had legit villains. Like even Lockdown from Age of Extinction. Fucking awesome. Awesome design. Awesome like gimmick. Everything about Lockdown is just fucking cool. Judgment Day here will have a like a nose, but FYI. I'm gonna make one of his teeth too, kind of like snarling out of his like lip. But Judgment too, like, you know, like he should kind of be, like if he's going to kill our version, like of Clark Kent, basically, like if he's going to do what we want him to do, you know, like he can't be mindless. Like, I'd rather him be insanely intelligent. Like, intelligent to the point of being scary. You know, because like no one ever bought Doomsday. Like, no one buys Doomsday being so mindless that he's destructive enough to kill Superman. Okay, like that should have been retconned. It was DC. It was the next generation of DC creators. That was their responsibility to retcon that. So, and one of the things here too is, like when I shade something, like, it's always like, it's pretty much like double lighting. So I bring the dark like right up to the contour line, and I back it off a little, and sometimes I'll just like, just like designate another like type of like shadow breakup, so that the black is breaking up like this way, and it breaks up that way too. And usually those are two different types of shading. Yeah, I mean, I'm always pissed that more stuff doesn't get retconned in modern comics. Like retcon to benefit previous stories, not rewriting them. I'll say that. Like, retconning should always be like explaining and double explaining. And like, honest to God, like the gimmicks for this guy. I mean, his gimmicks. I mean, if he has like something like kryptonite, quote unquote kryptonite, this fucking dude, all his spikes should be kryptonite. But no, I mean, like, there's just a lot of things to Dark Hero. I think is there's like a mission. In my view, there's a mission around this project and this character, and it's not to make $1 million or to even sell a Netflix deal, because fuck that. I don't give a shit. Like, who the fuck wants to work with Netflix anyway? Like, honestly. No, it's to correct the tide. Like to turn the tide. Like Optimus Prime from Transformers the movie, just like coming in hot, fucking blasting people away. But here we go. So very cool. So we got something here, right? This guy looks lethal. Judgment looks like he will destroy your world, which I love. Yeah, and I don't know, like, so there's so many, like, so like this is where like Chris and I would exchange a couple of text messages, and like I would kind of like really take the position on just trying to explain what I think, and then like trusting that he's like absorbing enough to later like filter that into like the dialogue, the captions, and what's happening. Okay, so we're working in a very different type of Marvel method, but I really do feel like, based on where the project was, it had to kind of be like a writer's first like type thing. Like I really felt like that. Like honestly speaking though, like I would have absolutely loved if there was like like if things were a little bit more together where I could just draw it. Like here you go, like just draw this. Like sure, whatever the fuck you want, no problem. But life is full of surprises. Yeah, and then here we go. So like I would say like penciling wise, we're just about done with this page. So we're looking good. We're looking good. Yeah, I mean, look, like part of the deal, right? Like part of the handshake, the gentleman's agreement, whatever you want to call it, is like we trust each other to work fucking hard. Like that is it. Yeah, and Chris, like I felt bad because fucking Chris over here is like it's Father's Day yesterday, and like this is my first Father's Day without my father, but like I'm still going to my mother's. We're still celebrating because like that's what families do in times like this. And some of it too is like letting go is fucking tough. When you love someone, letting go is one of the most gut wrenching things you can put your psyche through. Like no joke. So like I'm doing things. I'm trying to do a drawing for Instagram. Kind of like half-heartedly recording it too along the way. Dropping that soon. Yeah, and then I feel bad because I'm texting my fucking collaborator on Father's Day over shit. And I hate that. But like it's like things have to get done, things have to get discussed, stuff pops into your head. Yeah, and look, like there's things happening with Dark Hero that I feel like is almost like shots fired across the bow. Yeah, I do feel like there's a lot of Dark Hero that is it's a statement. It's a statement on like what was lost. And that type of like metaphor for comics works. It just works on a lot of levels in my like right now. So like I'll work on it and like hope that some of the this like like I can't call it messaging because there's no real messaging. But I just hope like some of it comes across enough that people kind of get like they look at it and they're like they get the point. They get the point of Dark Hero. Yeah, like I'd rather them get the point and then battle over interpretations of the intent. because like at that point, it really becomes like its own work of art. Like let the people decide. Number one, let people, like anyone other than you and in your circle, let other people decide if it's good, and let the audience decide if it's art. Because I don't care otherwise. Because you sit down, you develop skill sets. You don't develop skill sets to make art. There's no skill set involved with art. Like other people determine what art is. Like your job is to learn a skill set, and that's it. Get good at it. Practice. Hopefully get good enough where you piss a lot of people off. I mean, I honest to God think, like, Chris. Boom, exactly. But no, Chris, dude, like isn't this page colored, right? This page colored is enough to like sell some fucking comics. Like that's it. Like game over. Like look out. Chris Hicks. Chris _ Hicks is selling some fucking comics. And look, and anyone like there, like watching replays, because I know a lot of you kind of just like you'll put me on and you'll let it run as you're like working on your own books, which I'm very flattered that happens. But no, I mean, there's things involving this book and this campaign that I haven't even told Chris about yet, because like I gotta you gotta move those chains when it comes to progress, and like you gotta keep your eye on the prize, and sometimes like that is just a like other ideas are distractions. But there's a lot happening with Chris, because Chris is he kind of has this like I don't know any better fucking writer energy that it's like valuable, because you just need like you just need that sometimes. Because a lot of times when you illustrate, like it's eye against eye, you are by yourself. And I really do think that's why so many comic book people in their later life, they become fucking miserable people. Because I think the work just breeds it. Well, fuck that. Your boy here is far from miserable. Yeah, and it's like even like given the idea to like reimagine parts of Doomsday, like because Doomsday's actual origin is just, dude, it always was a mess. It got like retconned from like the first year. So, like it never really mattered. But like I just think our version gets to be that complete version through inception and execution. Get that like unicorn piece going here. Boom. But like I said, as I was saying before Chris even like got on the stream here, it's that Chris he's a collaborator on a level of marketing. And just when it comes to understanding the landscape of like pre-sales and crowdfunding, like like that's just it's fucking valuable. It always needs to like get tested and worked on, but having like just having kind of like two people thinking about marketing a lot, we generated ideas almost like with the purpose of marketing that are kind of getting retrofitted into the project. But like things work that way though. Like that's not a betrayal on the story and what the ideas of the story are. It's a part of the story is the marketing too. So and things like that change like all the fucking time. So let that change come down. Let it happen. Yeah, like Chris and I are doing I call it selling the process. Like we're we will have another edition available, like another like I guess it would be a part of the campaign. Like it's not a add-on. Like this is a part of the campaign. Like you buy Dark Hero and you're going to get a making of book, which is again like not uncommon. But we've been documenting a lot of things from the beginning because like I guess like once I knew Chris was serious, and trust me, I talk to a lot of serious people every fucking week. Like I kind of knew that we would have a window to maybe like just chew up some of his writing time while I was like working on pages. And I think like we kind of came up with some good ideas for the making of book or the process manual. But I'm big on selling the process, understanding the process, comparing the process with things that worked and didn't work and things you tried. Because I think that's a part of the experience. I think that's a part of like finding people like online that you wouldn't normally know, right? Like thank you, like thank you fucking Twitter for all that shit. So I'm just kind of here just trying to figure out a little bit of this fucking leg here. And I think I missed the line while I was talking. Motherfucker. But no, and like like we want people to know exactly how this project got transformed. Because I think it's unique like I think it's definitely a part of the actual story of the project. Like keep in mind, like Oswald the Lucky Rabbit led to Mickey Mouse. So some of it too is, we will have to make a decision on getting some color on this. I mean, unless I really kind of crack down and get a little bit more of a process for myself. But I don't see my speed getting any faster, and I don't want the coloring to really hold up the fucking campaign. And just honestly speaking too, like that's what I'm really most worried about at this point when it comes to completing this. But I do believe these pages with color is going to change things. But all right, everyone. 2 fucking hours. That's cool. We did a lot of work. We did a lot of penciling. We got a little bit of a crash course on why villains resonate. I love you all. Thank you so much. Let me get out of here because I got like other work to do, everyone. Rock and roll. Tomorrow night will be Lookbook. We're going to go over Scud, the disposable assassin. So be on the lookout for that.
Are you ready for the eclectic one? AKA Pat is here.